Hello Internet, welcome back to RimWorld. Last episode we dealt with some sappers, I believe, and things didn't go so well. And yeah, it has me a little irritated at RimWorld, to be honest with you. I went online, so we've set up defenses to deal with raiders and such. We have turrets and things that we have to protect our base. And the sappers basically, from what I've found online, they just magically know where to go. They get to know where your stuff is. They beeline for specific areas of your base, and they just can dig through anything, and they completely circumvent any defenses that you put up. And it really irritates me once I found that out, because it's like I went online, I was like, all right, well, how do I defend against these increasing events that I'm getting of sappers? And basically everyone online was like, yeah, just use a mod to circumvent them, because there's no defense. They just know immediately where to go. They know the fastest path to get there. They know where all your stuff is. And they get pathing to whatever they want. And so there's no real way to plan for them. Like, they've been beelining into this area here because it's one of the paths of least resistance to our most valuable stuff. And so they just came right in here. Which is, okay, is irritating, but okay, it's something to deal with. So you think, all right, well, I'll defend this area a little bit. I'll put down a turret or whatever and make it a little bit more defensible. But if I put a turret there, well, they magically will know. Like, if I put a turret in this hallway, they're going to know that there's a turret in that hallway, and so they won't path there anymore. They'll go a different way. And it's like, well, what is the point of having these defenses and things if you have no control over, like, what's the point of the defenses if they ignore the defenses? And so that really irritates me. I don't enjoy that. It's not fun to have no defense against something. Everyone online, everywhere I looked, it was like, well, just don't play with, just turn them off. Use a mod to hey, this mod has great stuff. You can put it there. It doesn't count in their pathing, so they'll just get themselves killed, blah, 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 etc. It's like, that's not fun to do that. I don't find that fun. Is that, like, at that point you're just turning off a game mechanic, which I've done with the infestation, so I'm not super opposed to it, but like, there should be a defense. They shouldn't magically know where my stuff is. It really irritates me, because, like, what am I supposed to do in defense now? Like, how do I defend against people who, like, do you understand what I'm saying? It just irritates me a lot. Like, the more I thought about it, yeah, I didn't look at their, sure, it will reduce the value of our colony to give them a bunch of stuff. Interesting that it didn't give us any kind of reputation bonus. Yeah, really, really bothers me. I don't know. Why does he have an electric bolt next? Sad wandering. Denim. So, I want to build a mortar, because, like, the only defense I can think is if we hit them hard before they can start digging, maybe we'll be okay. But I don't think we will, because I think last time I used mortars, they were basically never accurate. I never actually hit what I was aiming at. I don't know if that's necessarily true, or if that was just a bad situation, and maybe it's based on your shooting skill. I don't really know how turrets work or how the mortars work. It's fall. We don't need to be planning this anymore. And yeah, just frustrating to me. I don't know how you feel about it. Travelers are leaving. We can probably, I think at this point, if we forbid these two, these we don't need to forbid. If we forbid these 12 eggs, we will get a lot of chickens, and we will delete this zone so that they will now haul the remaining eggs to be used for food. But we've forbidden those, so they won't be able to pick those up. Denim is no longer sad wandering. That's great. That's great. Denim, if you could clean the hospital just so that Meerkat's not living in filth. Oh, good. So the mod I installed, oh no, it's because of the drill. Hey everybody. Except Pixie, because she's useless. Oh, and Meerkat. Sorry, Meerkat, I know you're sick. Everybody draft, and I don't really know where the insects are going to go. Why don't we stack up right here? Two pretty big boys. Can we hold this open? It needs to be triggered first. Whitlock, go open the door. Okay, hold open. No, don't deconstruct. Hold open. Whitlock, trigger the door. They're ruining Vaughn's bed. Okay, retreat, Whitlock. Run. Everyone, murder that. No, my God. For whatever reason, we've seen this before. Even though Turtle has a rifle, it triggered her to go. Everyone, oh my God. Everyone shoot. Oh my God. Shoot this. Turtle, get back here. Why? That's not Turtle. That's still not Turtle. There's Turtle. Why did she default to melee attacking? I don't understand. So now she went up there and she got cut up. I don't get why they defaulted to melee attacking. They were not in melee range. It shouldn't have triggered for melee. Okay. Make sure this one's dead. Turtle, go get some treatment. In fact, Turtle and Terrace got tore up. Terrace and Turtle. Turtle is mildly hurt. Terrace is much less hurt. So Terrace, undraft. Turtle, undraft. Everyone else, kill that spider. And then undraft. I mean, the infestation is whatever. It's from the deep drill. It's not a super big deal. But, like, still sucks. Why is there a corpse in here? Why wasn't this taken care of yet? Okay. Outdoors. Yeah, well, no one is building. We don't have bricks. Pixie, what are you doing? Making component? Nah. Nah. Come make blocks. Okay. We need a lot of blocks because we're going to need to construct a lot of crap because we have a lot of stuff going on. Not thrilled with the way things are going in the colony. Again, you can say whatever you want about it, but like RimWorld feels like a very casual game, and then when I run up across things that feel unfair or difficult, it just stands out because RimWorld seems like such a casual game that I was not expecting that. Like, I don't expect magically pathing AI that can just ruin my day. In RimWorld, I expected it to be a more casual, fun type situation, not loaded. How do we load a mortar? Man, steel mortar. No. How do we need the shells to be closer to the mortar. Do shells deteriorate over time? Where are some shells? Did we sell our mortar shells? I bet we did. Of course we did. Okay. Let's look at our inventory. Yeah, looks like we got rid of our mortar shells. That's awesome. Solar flare, also awesome. So now all of our meat will go bad. Let's, can we make shells? Mortar shells? We can make frag grenades. I imagine we can make shells. Incendiaries or high explosive. I don't know which is more valuable. One requires chem fuel. What does incendiary require? Also chem fuel. Well, we do have a chem fuel maker. So we do have some chem fuel. I guess we make some shells. Suspend. It's also 1 in the morning. I'm assuming Pixie's still making bricks. Yeah, go to bed, Pixie. Incompetent. Let's set up some shells. We'll go high explosive, I think. We'll make... I don't know. I don't know how many we need. Is it 1 shell per shot? I mean, I would think it is, but I would assume we craft in numbers of 1 as well. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a whiner. You know, I find this happening more and more in games where I play a game and I expect things to go one way, and when they go the other way, it really makes me irritated. Denim, what are you doing? Hauling potatoes. Yeah, I'd rather you clean, actually. Blood of a warg and a wild boar. Okay, clean. I mean, I guess that's dirt as well. Trash. Why do they keep throwing trash down here? Also, Vaughn's room is looking pretty bad. We can clean all this stuff. And once we get more bricks, which Pixie will do when she wakes up, she went to bed pretty late. Cargo pods, what do you got for me? Blue fur. Well, I mean, we'll take it, I guess. Although our inventory is quite full here of a lot of leather. They're constructing, they're repairing. Great, we did manage to close this up, but again, the sappers will just do whatever they want anyway. So I'm sure I'll just be more irritable as we go here. Let's pull up a random question so we have something a little less frustrating to talk about. Bam. Would you rather have hail rocks or rain arrows? I have no idea. Would you rather have it hail rocks or rain arrows? Neither. Stupid question. All these are very dumb questions. Would you rather have the power to make anyone fall in love with you or be able to read minds? Well, to be fair, if you could read minds, you could probably make someone fall in love with you, because you could just, you know, read their minds and be, you know, guarded by 4 enemies. They give you a bed and a prosthetic heart. No, we can't spare the people, unfortunately. Yeah, if you could read minds, I'm pretty sure you could get someone to love you. But also, you're basically asking, like, hey, would you rather, like you shouldn't be able to make people fall in love with you. That's pretty jacked up. Just because that's a free will. Like, at that point, isn't that an assault? Like, if you're using mind powers or whatever to coerce someone into loving you, isn't that kind of like skeevy and gross? Like, to me, it sounds gross. Same with having, I would just rather have mind reading powers. Like, if I had a superpower, it would be mind reading. That would be my pick. Just because reading minds is a really potent ability that you could do. You could use that to make a lot of money. You could use that to have better friendships. You could use that to have a better love life. There are all kinds of benefits from being able to read people's minds, I think. Provided that it's controllable. Wow, look at all the chicks we have. We're going to need a lot of kibble. The reason we were breeding so many is because we want more hens to lay more eggs. So we're going to probably cull all the roosters as they grow up. Although we probably should start killing some of our older birds. If we look at animals, some of our animals are getting older. So for instance, the rooster is 5. That's not bad. We had a hen that was like 8 years old and had dementia. Those should probably go, I would think, just because I don't know how old chickens generally grow, you know, will live without being, if you don't eat them for food. So not 100% on that. We don't want we don't want to kill the young ones and then have the old ones die on us and lose our ability to reproduce and gain eggs. So why don't we mark some of these herbs as harvestable? You're not, it said must designate plants. That's clearly a plant. Can harvest some of those. I saw some more around here somewhere. We'll look for the ones that are big so they look fully grown. And we'll harvest those for little supplemental herbs into our medical supplies there. Got a horde of rhinos over yonder. Mark these as harvested. Sounds fine. Yep. I don't know. Just a little frustrated. You know, I haven't been recording because I've been having some mental health stuff going on. And I've been ignoring some of my more popular series just because I've been feeling not so good about myself. And when I don't feel good about myself, it's hard to be productive. It's hard to make myself do work when I'm not feeling very good. And it's just been like that for, you know, a couple days where I'm not feeling so confident in myself. I'm not feeling so much like, I just don't feel, I don't know. I don't feel right. I don't feel good. Where are the shells going? Oh, there they are. So we want, they do have, let's look at stone. Yeah, see, if we look at stone, there's no health bar to it. If we look at wood, there is. So these shells will deteriorate over time if left outside. But we want the shells to be stored near the mortar so that they're quickly grabbable. So I do think we're going to build a small shack here just to hold our mortar shells. We can get this thing out of here. We can reinstall this at, I don't know, sure. Sounds fine. And let's just build a little shack here for mortar shells. We do have wood. We'll build it out of wood. We'll build it out of wood here. Just a little... Yeah, that seems fine. Just a little room. How do we remove plans? Let's go ahead and do that. Clear plans. Where's our planning? Orders. Deplan. Made high explosive shell. So we should have like 15 explosive shells at this point. Go ahead and mark this as stockpile. And we'll mark this as incendiaries only. Weapons, I assume. Ranged weapon. No, probably not. Ranged weapons? No. So items? No. Manufactured. Mortar shells, yes. Mortar shells. And we'll set that to critical. And then someone will haul them over here. So if they have to reload between shots, they only have to go to here as opposed to going all the way through here to get a shell and come back, which would slow down our shooting quite a lot. I think one mortar is fine for the time being. I would like to have two, but I don't think we can continue producing warheads that quickly or shells that quickly. We have 22. Okay. And it shouldn't be deteriorating, right? Yeah. Okay. So hopefully next time we encounter the sappers, we will be able to thin their numbers using the mortars ahead of time. Let's get another question. Minor break risk, I don't really care. Would you rather travel 100 years into the past or 100 years into the future? I mean, I think either way, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. But definitely, you know, I don't know. I was going to say the future because the future holds a lot more promise than the past. If we go 100 years in the past, that's, you know, well, I mean, I guess it would be the early, like, 1900s. So, like, World War I. And I think lots of farmland, really no quality of life. I think the life expectancy was probably like 50 years old. No real medicine, although medicine was improving. Mental health treatment was probably the worst. Like, I mean, just terrible, you know, with institutions and lobotomies and things. Actually, I don't think the lobotomies came around in 1919. But you know what I'm saying? It would not be a great quality of life. I am a white male, so it wouldn't be super, super terrible. You know, it would obviously be much worse if I were, you know, a different race or if I were a woman. Of course, because things just weren't hard enough, we have 3 people with the plague. So that's great. Always nice to see the plague come around. The game is just, at this point, the game is just being a jerk because we've established ourselves so well. I don't know if we're ever going to get around to building the ship. I might just get sick of the game and stop playing, depending on the severity of raids and things like that. I don't know. Like, at some point, like, so when I record games, I like to record because they're fun. And when a game stops feeling fun and starts to feel irritating, I just don't want to play anymore, you know? And, like, nobody watches my series, so I don't feel any real obligation to finish. I don't like just quitting in the middle of something, but I also get like 2 views a video, like 10 minutes of watch time sometimes. So I don't know that it really matters that much to people because I don't think people like me as a YouTuber. So I don't think it matters. Even when I give like really great commentary, like there are times when I have really good episodes and I'm like, man, this is the one that people are really going to like out of this series. And then I actually go to look at the numbers and it's like, oh, you had 3 minutes of watch time spread out among, you know, 10 people. So it's like, obviously no one cared that I was, you know, giving good commentary. No one cared that I was trying. So what's the point? Although that may just be my depression speaking because I've been struggling lately with my depression. Anyway, 100 years in the past seems like it would be interesting. But 100 years in the future seems like it would be more interesting. Whitlock, why aren't you in bed? You have the plague, man. Go to bed. Okay, Kimmy will take care of them because she is our backup doctor. Never mind, Kimmy decided not to not to help Whitlock. So how do we make him, how do we allow him to tend to himself? Self-tend disabled. Yeah, I know. How do I make him able to tend to himself? Okay, first of all, everyone needs to be on no drugs. Drug policy. How do I make him tend to himself? Like, I legit don't know. No, that's definitely not the right button. Whitlock. Needs. Health. No medical care. No medicine. Defaults. Imprison. I don't understand. Colonists. How do I make you self-tend? It's right in front of me. Okay, Whitlock, tend to yourself. Colonist needs treatment. Yeah, I know. That's why I just had him do it. Okay, much better. So he's been treated. How are we doing on chem fuel? Still have a lot of chem fuel. We did get a cycle from this. So I think we will make more shells. Just because. We'll make some incendiaries as well. What are the other ones? So are there any available from this proper bench? No, just bionics and stuff. Okay. So we'll make some more high explosive shells, I think. Just to keep our numbers up. And we're going to keep vigilant. We appear to have run out of power, which is confusing to me because we've been running all the same equipment for quite a long time. I can't think of anything I've built recently that changes the power that's being used. So I'm not sure why we're running out. I might have a break somewhere in our power. No. Looks good. Ah. Of course. They destroyed. Of course. So we're not getting the benefit of that other geothermal, which explains why we're losing power. So we'll get that squared away. They should go build that pretty much immediately when they wake up. Just because construction is such a high priority and I don't think we have anything else set up to be constructed at the moment. What does this produce? Uranium? Yeah, I mean, okay. Mortar shells. Yeah, feeling out of it. I want to record though. Agatha and Yoko have formed a bond. Well, it's been our pet for a really long time. I'm surprised you're just now bonding. We really need to get rid of these calves as well. I think we'll wait until the chicks have grown and then we'll sort out who we want to keep, who we don't, and we'll send a caravan to the other settlement to trade off some of our garbage that we don't really want. Is anyone not armed? Meerkat, are you unarmed? You are. Go grab this assault rifle so that you're equipped for future combats. Great. Bandit Camp quest. 4 enemies for an AI persona core. I mean, we do need one of those, but 4 enemies. We don't know what their defenses really look like. I'm so hesitant to go for the Bandit Camp requests. I just feel like we're barely surviving with the raids that we've been getting, and I'm hesitant to send off half of our people. Like, it's 4 enemies. We would want to send at least 4 or 5 people, but then we only have 3 or 4 left behind, and Pixie can't be combat. So it's like, who would I send? How would I send them? And how, you know, what are the odds that we get injured and we need to send a doctor and blah, 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 etc. It just seems like a lot. So we should probably be hunting because we're running out of meat. Really nothing to hunt that's not going to be dangerous. I guess we'll go boomalope. Will work just fine. What are these little light bulbs? Inspired. Yeah, most of them are useless that we're never going to use because they're not on the right people. Shoot frenzy is always good though. Let's get another question. Yeah, so I'd probably go 100 years into the future just to see where technology lands and see what we're up to. I think 100 years in the future is not super long, but there would be a lot of development. I mean, if you look again at human history, the difference between the last 100 years has been staggering. You know, you think back in the 1900s, Electricity was relatively new, you know. Computers were unheard of. I don't think they had computers until, like, I mean, World War II they had computers, but I think it happened kind of in between World War I and World War II, although I don't really know if that's true. Although, if I went back 100 years, I would basically be, like, the smartest man alive, just based on my general knowledge. So I don't know about that. But let's get a different question. Would you rather go to jail for a year or be homeless for a year? And there's our hen suffering from dementia again, which is not great. Last time we had dementia and something came to try and murder it, or was hunting it, I think. Boomalope Revenge. I mean, okay. I guess it was just the one. I thought the whole pack would have been an issue, but I guess it was just the one. Yeah, I don't know. In jail, you're guaranteed a bed and some food. Being homeless, you're not really guaranteed any of that stuff. Although there were shelters and things. Probably homeless, just because, well, it says jail, and jail and prison are different. Prison is, like, legit scary, but jail is, like, in my area, jail is mostly drunk drivers. So jail wouldn't be particularly difficult, I think. Because most of the really violent people end up in state prison, which is not jail, that's prison at that point. I don't know. I guess jail. Would you rather have a terrible short-term memory or forget everything bad that ever happened to you? Would you rather have terrible short-term memory, which is a bad thing, or forget everything bad that ever happened to you, which is a good thing? So, no competition. I would rather forget everything bad that ever happened to me, obviously. Stupid questions. I really should have done some research. I literally just grabbed every question I found on the internet and threw it into a text editor for pulling from a program. Would you rather be able to eat as much as you want and never gain weight, or feel refreshed and well rested after only 3 hours of sleep? Again, seems a little bit confusing to me, because being able to eat and never gain weight is not that big of a deal, but being able to sleep only 3 hours a night but be rested sounds amazing, because I would be, well, one, you would have more time in your life sleeping only 3 hours a night, but also I often don't feel well rested and refreshed, so it would be a nice change of pace to actually not be miserable and sleepy all the time. So that, I guess. Yeah, I'm really feeling off today. My conversation is genuinely bad. All these chicks are the same age, so they're all going to grow up all at the same time. And we're going to wait for that, and we'll send a caravan out to sell them. I think sell off a lot of the males, things like that. Terrace is up. Why don't we call the episode here? I'm feeling a bit off, but I'm going to give it another go. Try one more episode. Maybe I'll eat something. That'll help. I'll go eat something, get my blood sugar up, get my brain functioning, and we'll come back and we'll try to play some more RimWorld and be a little bit more positive, a little less miserable, and a little bit more focused on enjoying the game. So for now, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.